My fellow Guardians, what is going on, y'all? Your dude Sly here, back at it with another quick Destiny 2 video for you, and this time, let's talk sword DPS. You know, swords are pretty hot right now, especially for things like Riven, the new dungeon, Contact Public Event, etc. However, I was playing around with some mods and discovered a new sword build that is absolutely insane, and works on any ultra or boss in the game. So with that, let's get to it, as I did promise this will be quick. So first off, one word: Guillotine. The new sword from the Season of Arrivals is not only powerful, it is so much fun to use, especially in the new public event. Once you're in the 1030s, 40s, or 1050s, you can pretty much just jump into a big old pile of yellow bars, use the heavy spin attack, and just destroy everything. So that is something all of you out there should be definitely grinding for, and of course, that comes from the seasonal rewards. While it doesn't really need help being powerful, using it against bosses is even more fun. So let's take a look at which mods you should be looking for and how to set this bad boy up, which is actually pretty easy once you have the right mods. First off, Oppressive Darkness is also back this season, and I'm actually kind of surprised at this. It first popped up during Shadowkeep in its very first season. It's extra damage with pretty much zero skill gap. Throw a grenade, reap the benefits. You'll find Oppressive Darkness on your class item where all the other melee mods were throughout the various seasons. This season it's going to be on a solar class item. It's pretty expensive, but definitely worth it. Since most of us are still leveling up at this time, it's kind of hard to stick with a good discipline build right now, as we're always switching armor or upgrading. But once things settle down, you can throw in a few discipline mods along with the grenade buffs and a few other things, and it'll help your endgame content a lot. On top of that, I have Shield Break and Innervation, which gives you grenade energy when picking up orbs, and you gain a charge with Light Stack for every shield that you pop with a matching element. Of course, this is just simply, a personal preference. As I'll talk about later, there's a lot of things you can switch up here. Next, let's move up the chain of armor to the legs, and I personally recommend Arc Legs. Start with taking charge, which is crucial to this boss DPS build. It gives you 1 stack of light for every orb that you pick up, which pairs nicely with the grenade perk in the class armor. After that, I chose Enhance Sword Scavenger since this is a sword build, and finally Major Resist, well, because those knights in the dungeon are absolutely ruthless with their fire remix. Moving on to the chest piece. I'm using a void chest piece here, and we'll talk about variants like I said in a little bit, but shoot for high energy fire, which gives you weapon damage when you have stacks of light. Now I haven't fully tested all of this out yet, especially this perk, but it takes a stack away when you kill an enemy, and before that, while you're doing damage to the enemy, it gives you an extra bit of, damage boost. But since yellow bars take so long to kill, your weapons will be a little more powerful for the entire duration when you're attacking bosses or doing DPS, at least in theory. Again, I haven't fully tested this perk out, but there are plenty of other good options out there if you wish to switch it up. Next, and the key to making all of this work, Arc Gauntlet. The main perk which makes this entire build work is called Lucent Blade. Dealing damage with a sword gives you 5 seconds of sword damage, and I'm not sure how much extra, but it's pretty damn significant. And then finally, a solar helmet with another key mod, Supercharge, which gives you 2 additional stacks of light up to a maximum of 5. There's also another mod somewhere around here that'll help with this. It's called Stacks on Stacks. If you can find that one, put it on as well. It's going to help you out even more. Put all of this together and you can absolutely wreck yellow bars and bosses with this. The idea here is that your entire fire team is rocking the same build, and put down a well, Titan Bubble, or nearby on a boss. Because you gain stacks of light when picking up 1 orb, you will not only reap benefits from all the orbs you're picking up from the extra damage of the Warlock Well and Titan Bubble, but Lucent Blade kicks in 1 stack at a time every 5 seconds, and after 5 seconds it takes away another stack, but during that time, after every stack taken away, you get extra damage for that 5 seconds. On top of that, you're gaining extra weapon damage until an opponent is killed, and since bosses don't die that easily, you sustain this damage the entire time. And then on top of that, you're using Oppressive Darkness, which you can get back from picking up orbs on top of your extra damage. All of this synergizes extremely well, and it becomes pretty damn powerful. Now admittedly, like I mentioned, I haven't tested all of these different perks out to see which ones stack, which ones works together, or which ones are cancelled out. Oppressive Darkness does work with supers because one's a damage buff while the other one's a debuff, and I don't know if the extra weapon damage mod is stacked on top of weapons of light or if one gets cancelled out. In theory, they should all work to your advantage, but regardless if one gets cancelled out or one doesn't work or whatever, this build just simply destroys, and it makes using Guillotine that much more fun. Now, if you want to step your build up to the next level and be even more powerful, be sure to put on boss spec and have a sword with Whirlwind, Relentless Strikes. Now, I did test Vorpal versus Whirlwind, and it seems that Whirlwind wins out when using your light chain attacks over Vorpal. Now, there's also plenty of room for change in this build as well. You can get rid of the high energy fire or shield break and look for things like stacks on stacks, which gives you more stacks of light on top of supercharged all the way up to ×5. You can also look for mods like Charge Harvest, which gives you the chance to become charged with light after every kill or assist. There's also mods that deliver light charges when using pulse rifles, SMGs, hand cannons, etc., which is also something useful that would work well with this build. How you build up your light charge, that doesn't really matter. What does matter is using Lucent Blade and Supercharge so that you can get as many stacks of light as possible, along with your fire team using supers so that you can pick up orbs and of course Oppressive Darkness. Another possibility, there is yet another mod which will give you stacks of light whenever a fire team member uses a super ability. So when someone puts down a well or a Titan bubble, you have a chance to get another stack of light. So as you can see, there is lots of room to play around here. But yeah, that's really it, Guardians. Just a quick video showing you how to set this simple build up and the different combinations you can use to maximize your light stacks. Like I mentioned, I'm changing out armor like crazy and trying out a bunch of different things, but once leveling settles down, I'm sure this build will come into its own. Now, I personally would stay away from anything that takes away your super, like getting stacks from finishers or other ones like that. Also, this is the order that I used, but you can also find Lucent Blade on other arc armor like leg armor, or if you have everything masterworked, you can add even more to this build. There's also a possibility to make a similar build but with rocket launchers. Wardcliff is still surprisingly strong, and with Argent Ordnance, it has the possibility to melt bosses as well, but that is for another video. Anyways, enjoy yourselves out there, Guardians, and I am out of here. If you're looking to use this in the dungeon, I have my dungeon guide up as well, so definitely check that out if you need some guidance within Prophecy. As always, thank you for watching and for supporting Slynation. If you're new to my channel, then welcome, my friend. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you stick around Slynation, as there will be plenty of new Destiny videos coming out all this season and tons more in the fall expansion. If you wish to get in touch, business or otherwise, feel free to email me, slynationgaming67@gmail.com, or check me out over on social media, which is the preferred way, at Slynation on Twitter, Slynation Gaming on the FB. Take care, y'all, and keep those eyes open for more Slynation Destiny 2 videos coming out in the very near future. But until then, this is your dude Sly, and I'll check you all in the next one.